You guys do not know we just literally talked for like almost 10 minutes and I realized we weren't live. My bad. That's fucking on me right there.
Fine.
It's on me right there. Anyway, we were talking some good talk too, man.
Yeah.
Like we were having a great fucking conversation.
What show are we on?
Yeah. Welcome back to the ACS Universe. You know, and like I said, if y'all out there watching, my bad for being late. It's all my fault. It's totally my fault, 1,000%. But
good. That was a moment for us.
This was
had a good conversation.
This was almost like if you walked up to a clown after it was just pied itself in the face.
Yeah.
Great analogy. I wonder who came up with that.
Why don't you go ahead and tell it? Because it was better when you said it.
So we were talking about the Fast and Furious movies. Anyways, like we're getting to the point of like people making fun of them. And all I was saying was like, you know, in the last one, they swing from one island to the other. I call it Tarzan every time I see it. But people use that to like make fun of the series and like other stupid moments. And like they're making fun of themselves. Do you not like that's the whole point? So I was saying it's like a clown pieing himself in the face, and then someone going up and be like, "Oh, you got pie on your face." It's like, yeah. Welcome to the party. Thanks for pointing it out.
Yeah. So that's perfect analogy. And I'll get back to what we had up there. Let's see who's in here real quick. Thrift Media, what up, Thrift? I say, hey guys, Fast Trades. Yes, yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit. I'm working on my top 10 DC stores. Okay, cool. Phil laughing because we just fucked it up. All right. Primo, what up? What's good, homie? What's up? Hope all's well. I was going pretty good except for that hiccup. William Powell was good. We're off to a bad start. Show sleep. AC. Okay, relax. He said 4 p.m. Army time, and yeah, that's pretty much how I fucked that up. Flash poster looks dope. We'll look at it. We'll look at it a little bit. It's okay. Or going into space and hey, man, that's what they do. That's what they do, man.
For sure.
I mean, this is coming from the generation where we had a movie that a bus couldn't go below 60 miles an hour until it blow up. So. Like it's honestly,
and that shit was dope. That movie was absolutely. Far-fetched, but incredible. Yeah, I love Speed. Speed was dope as fuck. Yeah. So, and we're gonna talk about the last ones. Obviously, you saw the thumbnail. We're gonna talk about the Flash stuff that came out. The teaser poster, pretty much trailer coming out during the Super Bowl on Sunday. Says it's gonna be early in the game. It's towards the end of the first quarter, I think. And they put a little logo out there with the. I did think the logo was pretty dope. The gold logo was pretty dope. And we'll talk about that for a bit. Obviously, I thought they were going to put out like a teaser today to the trailer as a teaser. You know what I'm saying? I thought I heard that there was going to be like a little small something, and then the trailer comes out on Sunday with the Super Bowl. I don't know, man. Maybe I heard that shit wrong. So we'll see what's up with that.
I think it's supposed to be like from if it's like traditional Super Bowl standards. I think it would be like a 30-second. 1 minute spot
like Doctor Strange last year, drop a 30-second spot
and then say full trailer online, right?
Yeah. So I have to sneak off. I'm watching the Super Bowl this year at I know I've never watched Super Bowl at home. I always go to places and So like where I was at last year, there was a good bit of fans enough to where when I pulled the Doctor Strange trailer up afterwards, obviously that's the first time when you heard Professor X in the trailer, just his voice.
Yeah.
People were interested where I'm going this week. There'll be a couple people interested. I'll probably sneak off into the bathroom and watch the full trailer once the little teaser comes out because probably nobody's gonna care. So anyway,
I think in my case, because I'm probably gonna wind up doing the same thing. I usually go to my dad's house for the Super Bowl. And fortunately, he's got one big TV out in the living room that we watch the game on, and then there's another TV in the smoke room that we just fucking hook up YouTube. It's got Amazon. It's got a Prime stick, so it's just do whatever the fuck, You're like, I'll pull up YouTube and pair it up to the TV because the TV's mine. The old TV that I have out there is mine. And so I hooked everything up, and I just go out there and watch the trailer on a big ass TV.
That's actually pretty perfect. William said with duct tape, you talking about the Fast and Furious. No teaser. Oh yeah, just that little one. All right. Oh, you talking about trailer? Okay. Say hopefully Callie Supergirl doesn't disappoint. That's great. I think she's gonna be all right, man. I just
she's gonna be cool.
But even though I hadn't seen her performance yet, I already wish they'd bring her back, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. This poster is not the final. Okay, so it's just a little tease for Sunday. Cool. Do we think we'll get a new trailer for Secret Invasion? Yo, that just depends on Marvel wants to spend, $7 million for 30 seconds.
7 million is a drop in the bucket for Marvel Studios.
Is it right now? They hurt me.
I
heard
know.
Marvel,
I think
that's a fair point. That's a fair
They lost what, like a couple million subscribers on Disney Plus there.
True.
And they're laying off a lot of people. So if they feel
they had like 7,000 layoffs.
Yeah, 7,000, bro. And I saw somebody post about it, and then there was people under there just like, "Whoa, that's how life is." Like, bro, I understand. Yes, that happens in life, but 7,000 from the same place at one time. Okay, relax. That's. I'm not gonna say it's big news, but that's something you'd be like, oh, damn, that's interesting. You know what I mean? To just be laying off that many people. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if. Go ahead.
It's just like. I'd have to dig a little deeper just to figure out like how many of those are artists or how many of those are staff at theme parks. Like what is the total? Where is the 7,000 coming from? Because that just sucks. Period. Like losing your job sucks. There's that like that is just an unfortunate fucked up thing that I think nobody should ever have to go through. But sometimes it happens, and especially at companies like this. Like Disney, Warner Brothers, Universal, like it's happening across the board. These jobs, they either get morphed or evolve, or people retain positions and become something else entirely, and something else gets phased out, right? And things just get consolidated. It's fucking unfortunate and it sucks, but it's just like again to the other side of the coin. It's like that's just the way that business operates. Unfortunately. I don't know.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. But do we think Secret Invasion? That's
maybe I don't know.
The Super Bowl normally the spots you see in the Super Bowl for like stuff like this is like Doctor Strange or the series. The Mandalorian now. The Mandalorian might get one because that's like a proven.
If Disney was going to shell out money, and you have to imagine they ABC on ABC, right? And they're they've also got all the sports channels, so of course they're going to shell money out for whatever the fuck they're going to market, whatever the fuck they want during the Super Bowl. And if I had to guess, Mandalorian more than likely because that drops next month. You can probably guarantee maybe Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. They're going to do a trailer for that. Secret Invasion, that's maybe because I feel like actually. No, I can't because it's kind of a spoiler for Ant-Man. I don't want to talk about that. Anyway, I think they would also be privy. They could, if they really, really wanted to, they might show off a teaser for the Marvels. If they really wanted to, they could.
That'd be dope.
Yeah. And hey, Warner Brothers paid the money to show off the Flash, so we'll see that too.
Also, the trailer we're going to watch here in just a bit, like they didn't save it, so
they're probably going to show. We're probably going to see another version of that too.
Okay. Because I was going to say to release because I got it pulled up and it's kind of lengthy. I was like, man,
almost 5 minutes.
Is it? Hold up.
It's like 4.5, 5 minutes.
It's like 3, 4.
Oh, 3. Yeah, it is. Okay, it is. Holy shit. So yeah. And as far as that, like for me personally, Secret Invasion, like I'm looking forward to it, but it just doesn't seem like something that they would shell out that money to. For the see. But the rest of the stuff you just said though, Fast Furious, they probably refurbished 30-second trailer or something like that.
They did do Falcon and Winter Soldier one year in front of the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it did. But to be fair, it was debuting the very next month.
Yeah. Yeah.
It had that advantage to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like if they're gonna do any TV shows this year, you can guarantee that. Oh, they guarantee Secret Invasion, right? But they also guaranteed Loki. Loki's coming out in the summer.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Right. So Secret Invasion, spring is vague. Like that could be anywhere between like the end of March all the way to like the very end of May.
Mm-hmm.
So it's tough. It's really tough. It would, if they wanted to do Secret Invasion, they would really have to release it like March, April, somewhere in there. That would be prime. And you know, if they do Secret Invasion, then again, that and if it was to be released next month in March, then yeah, that kind of would follow suit with Falcon and Winter Soldier. But again, that's just going under the assumption of prior marketing. And Marvel never do. I mean, they do and they don't, but it's really kind of just dependent on the property in question. And since Ant-Man comes out next week, it's a possibility they might spend money on Ant-Man. So,
well, some last minute little, it is for sure. So we'll see what they show, man. And most of the time, and look, like I said, I'll go places to watch the Super Bowl every year, but I always pay attention. Like, I'm cognizant of what's happening between commercial breaks, halftime, all that shit, because they always there's some stuff that sneaks up, and it might not interest me, but I still like I try to pay attention to it just to see. So there might be something they sneak in there, who knows? But I do know that a spot is fucking costly, bro. and you what you mentioned about them, even though Ant-Man and the Quantumania does come out this weekend, or not this weekend, but next weekend. They still might try to get a little final push, a little something in there.
They don't even need to like do, anything new. They just need to do like a 30-second spot or reuse a 30-second spot they've already shown. But the fact that it's going to be shown in front of the Super Bowl, that's going to make it even bigger because Kang's going to be their next big villain. They want him in front of as many eyes as possible. So it would, to me, you could probably Marvel. They're going to get away with pushing probably Guardians of the Galaxy and Ant-Man. That much I could probably almost guarantee. But at the same time, like I'm not saying that definitively because I don't know anyone who works at Disney. But again, like just thinking about past strategies and who owns, things in regards to Super Bowl and marketing, things like that, and who really has the money to shell it out. It's going to be Disney, and they're going to put out whatever the fuck they want. And if I had to guess, more than likely, they're probably going to do a push for Ant-Man. But if they really wanted to show off anything new, you can probably guarantee it would really kind of come down to Guardians. And I feel like it might be Guardians.
Yeah. That would, I mean, it is, it is hidden theaters as opposed to, being like
3 months away.
Yeah, it is. It's close. It's close. Yep. And what up, Ryan?
Hey, what's up, guys?
What up?
What up?
So, yes, I think 37-34, Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay.
Go Bird. Go Bird.
Yeah. Andre said, what's up, guys? He says, what you fans want to recast? I do not know. They probably will.
I mean,
that's right.
I honestly don't know.
That's going to depend
some yes,
on,
some no.
That's really going to depend on how people
and
receive
Sasha Calle. Yeah.
After The Flash.
I think when that movie got announced in the cast and you started seeing set stuff from The Flash way back. That seems like so long ago, but it's just a couple years. But it seems like it's fucking 10 years ago when you were seeing those set things from The Flash with Ben Affleck on the fucking whatever. That shit seemed like a long time ago. So I don't know. Look, I think Sasha, I think she's gonna do a good job. I hope they bring her back. I don't know. This just depends. Like you guys
it
said,
depends on the reception.
Yeah,
it depends on if she like knocks it out of the park like Gal Gadot in Wonder Woman. Everyone's like or not in BVS rather. Everybody's like, oh yeah, no, we're sold. We dig this because I mean that's a problem with a lot of people. I don't want to say a problem with a lot of people, but a lot of people kind of get attached to something, and then they're like, no, I don't want change. So it depends on that. Also, it depends on what the hell Gunn wants to do, right? Does Gunn does he not give a shit? And just I'm gonna do my thing regardless.
Probably doesn't. But all right. Say I don't. He said Feige could pull that out. Oh, you talking about money for Super Bowl ads?
Or condom.
7,000 is part of a restructuring that was expected, so that prioritize the staff on the 3 divisions that make them revenue while they wait for Disney Plus to draw profit. Okay, that's more technical. Like I appreciate this kind of comments though, because I don't know anything about whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like what he's saying right now. Like it sounds about right, but because we were talking about them laying off 7,000 people at one time, and you're like, yo, that's fucking. Eagles.
I really don't care, but if you're gonna make me choose the Chiefs,
I feel you. I don't know why you picking the Chiefs.
Well, like I said, Eagles, and it's going to be 37-34. Yeah,
I'm just glad the Eagles beat the Niners. Niners fucking gifted.
I'm kind of with Andre though. We do kind of need a new quarterback because Garoppolo just ain't it.
Y'all, you guys have a fucking.
You guys had endless.
You guys are dope. If everybody comes back healthy next year, the problem you're gonna have is something that like half the teams in the league will envy. Who do we choose to play quarterback? Because they're all
get Bo Jackson back in here.
I also, I think I said it. I think I said it in the chat for instant replay. But I'm so glad that Brock Purdy did not make it to the Super Bowl because he played at like a college in my state and. Was talking about it for months. He's just like the second coming of Christ, and I'm like, shut up. And then he got hurt, and I'm like, okay.
Fuck the Eagles. Okay, I feel. Hey.
You want to do what to Eagles?
You know what else people treat like the second coming of Christ? The tweets from James Gunn.
Yeah, it's like every time he farts, they're like, "Oh my god!" What?
And look, I got nothing personal against James Gunn. Do I think he's an all right writer?
Batman. What is Batman?
Batman looks wow.
You talking about Batman?
I don't know what you're talking about. Wow, relax,
Batman.
bro. Eagles are too good. Yeah, they're really good. Okay, hold on. I'm going through the comments real quick. See, Ant-Man, the new flavor.
Ant-Man. Oh,
that's what is he saying?
Okay.
Yo, relax, Juan. Okay, just relax, bro. We don't need to use that terminology.
Apparently, Juan's like 12 years old.
I think their plans for Supergirl. Their plans regardless of how the Flash received. Maybe, man. Maybe. Possible. Yeah, man. Maybe. And it's crazy because if Gunn's thoughts about that certain character are a certain way, and she comes out and kills it in the Flash. Is he going to change what he has planned? If he plans,
he said the Flash is like one of the best superheroes movies he's ever seen, right?
And remember we said last night, but he's still.
But the Dark Knight, is it as good as the Dark Knight?
It's the best DC movies.
But then again, this is also the same guy who said we don't know if Sasha Kai is going to stick around as Supergirl either. And I'm just like, well, if you're adapting a Tom King specific story about this specific thing that happens with this specific version of Supergirl, then that kind of leads me to think, yeah, you're already going to recast. It doesn't really.
I'm thinking now.
That's kind of where my mind's at.
So if they're introducing Damian Wayne, and we talked about John Kent, being in the Superman Legacy. Well, because the Superman Legacy is the Legacy John Kent Jr. Is it Superboy? Where am I wearing a do-rag? Don't worry about it.
A beanie.
Don't worry about it. Once you get to work.
Yeah, it's the beanie crew.
once you get back to stocking the shelf.
It's beanie time.
Yo, hold up. Y'all continue to talk. I need to go get me a beanie. I just realized
what's going on
here.
Let
me go get me something fire.
Go get your ass a beanie.
But okay, so what do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of
beanies?
The Superman Legacy. He's actually in like John Kent, so Superman's son is in this one. That's why it's Legacy. That's why they're doing this. And maybe Henry and John and Gunn didn't really.
I don't think it's going to be John Kent because because Peter Safran and James Gunn have outright said Clark Kent is going to be balancing his Kryptonian.
But do you mean, Ryan? Do you mean just like in it, like not
just in it? Just not. That's not the focus. He's just in it. That's sort of the time period, and then they would eventually get Damian and John like in a movie together alone.
I don't know.
I could see it happening. It's going to be, boom,
Shazam!
Hey, there you go.
There we go. All right, let's go.
Nice.
It's gonna be like a transition or whatever, because like I don't know how well the general audience is gonna like accept these new characters, because if they're not reading the comics, then they're just gonna be like, who the hell are these guys? But I don't know. I could see John Kent being like like a supporting character or something.
Because I would think that they would try to do something that you haven't seen before. Like, okay, Chris Reeve never saw. So Superman Returns, it was horrible. The Horrible Son. Just a bad story that incorporated, the kid with the asthma, and it just didn't work, right? And so I'm thinking that they would do it again, but just go with the version that you see in the animated film that just came out. So I mean, there are kids and there are people that are that have exposure to these characters. They just haven't had any sort of big screen time, and Sasha Calle coming in, as Supergirl, I guess she's Kara Zor-El. I don't know. Nobody knows because it's like, okay, it's not the typical like 1984 Supergirl that was, I forget her name, but she's, did a great job.
Helen Slater.
Helen Slater. So, just the blonde with the curls and all that, and the skirt and everything. And this is a different costume where she just has, the cape, sort of like affixed to the outfit, and the rest is blue, no boots or anything like that. So I'm like, okay, it's a cool. This is football, right? Not Angry Birds. He's drinking on the clock.
Yeah. Say he's typing that comment through tears.
Yeah.
He is. He's like,
I can't. Like, shut up.
What did you say? Shanahan?
So what do you think? What do you think, Anthony?
What's that?
Do you think that they would, because they're bringing in John Kent? I'm sorry, Damian Wayne for Brave and the Bold? Do you think that they would bring in John Kent for Legacy, because it's called Superman Legacy? So his legacy would be his kid.
Mm-hmm. Shit, man, I don't know, man. Dude, it's a thing where like this is one of those situations where I'm like, I don't know what you know what I'm saying? Like, what do I think about this? Like, I sit there and think about it, and I'm like,
I mean, to be honest, dude, I don't give a shit about the thing as a whole. Like James Gunn did not excite me with his slate. I'm like, okay, this is kind of weird choices here and there. We've all said, Batman prints money. I'm gonna watch a Batman film. I'm more of a Superman fan than I'm a Batman fan. I love Batman, but Superman has just always been my thing, growing up. So I'm not excited for the Superman film because number one, it doesn't have Henry. And I'm like, I need to know, why doesn't it have Henry? Was it creative choices? Henry was just like, nah, I was told the story was going to go this way. I wanted to do this. And they're like, we want to do this thing over here.
Nothing he said since then has given validity to removing Henry Cavill from the role of Superman. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could understand if it was like, we were going for a 19-year-old Clark Kent. Then you can say, okay, I totally understand. But he's not. It's almost the same fucking age. It's
the fucked up thing is like Ryan's idea of having like the Superman movie be about the legacy, like having it be John Kent. It almost works better with Henry Cavill. Because if the Flash,
that's what I would think.
And the thing is, like, even if the Flash resets a timeline, then the events of whatever happened prior, sure, they may or may not have happened, but now things have changed to a point where now the Henry Cavill Superman, we know all that stuff that we know happened, but now it's he's got Jonathan Kent Superman. Like, that'd be cool, that's why, in my opinion. But the fact that Gunn has specifically made it clear that his Superman is going to be a 25-year-old younger version, kind of trying to balance his life. I'm just like, well, and that kind of that makes it to me that just makes it sound like it's really hard to have Jonathan Kent there.
It does. And I completely agree with you. And I think that, like, even when we were talking last night about Damian Wayne, I was like, you're going to bring this kid into the mix. I mean, I would think that, a 50-year-old Batman makes sense. He's already gone through, Grayson Todd and
don't tell me how many cheeks he done clapped in his life.
Yeah. And Talia, Catwoman, all this, he's peppered the town with his, with his
with
his DNA.
with his guano.
his juice Wayne. Anyways.
That means white devil.
All right, so look, we literally basically we have no idea. Like, as far as,
and that's what makes it weird.
Yeah, maybe we'll get some. I'm not gonna say maybe. I think the length that they put this Flash trailer at that's supposed to come out on Sunday, it's almost 3 minutes. So I'm sure we'll get a lot more when it comes to the Flash as far as that goes. I'm sure the little teaser that they're going to show during like the third commercial break is going to be like the Flash do to see the full trailer. Go online, blah blah.
Yeah.
And that's what we've been talking about already on here. Anyway,
what do you guys think of the poster today? I was underwhelmed. I was like, because we got that shot from
the
teaser, and I put it up. I put it on, right underneath, Flash Film News. I said, hey, look, this looks exactly the same shot, just he's turned around. And then you've got the back
from the other one,
right. And I was like, that doesn't excite me, because it's like, okay, you turn the model around, put him in a different part of the Batcave, rendered the shot, put the Batwing in there, and you're done. And number one, this is the first Flash film we've ever had, but you're really putting Batman in there, like, hey, Keaton's in here, guys, go see the movie.
Yeah, because it comes over the top. Like
it's like, you look at Man of Steel, it's just Superman by himself.
It is.
You look at Black Adam, before everything else, it was just him. They added the other ones in there, underneath and all that. It was Black Adam movie. You look at Shazam, it's Shazam. It's not the Shazamly and all that or whatever. It's not Henry Cavill Superman. With his head cut off in the poster. It's but when you look at the Flash, it's like, oh, there's the Flash, but then Batman that's gonna sell it.
Nothing says the Flash like the Batcave.
Dude, that's what I was thinking.
And also him standing still.
Yeah.
Like,
And look,
he's phasing. He's phasing.
I put my Flash right there. I didn't expect like I don't know. It was kind of, when I saw it, I was like, okay. I didn't expect what you guys were talking about. Not that much, but I also expected just a little bit more than what they gave. But they're saving it up. So I think the perfect conversation for what they put out today is going to be in a few days, whenever we recongregate, whether it's 4 nerds or whatever, to talk about what they put out this weekend. That's where you can like literally be like, so what they put out there on Friday was stupid, because what they put out on Sunday was this, you know what I'm saying? So we can kind of, and they're just trying to tease some stuff, trying to get everybody hyped up. Mm-hmm. And then, look, there we go. There's a history when it comes to like nerd culture and shit, kind of intersecting with football. I remember they started putting out like whatever a new Star Wars was coming out, the trailer would play during Monday Night Football. So they've been doing that for years, trying to crisscross that thing where like they're trying to maximize their views, I guess you could say. So we'll see. We'll see what happens on Sunday. Obviously, like I'm sure we're going to talk about it.
It's pretty big because they're trying to capture the general audience, and the general audience is because the Super Bowl
expect Michael Keaton's face
kind of thing
centered in that fucking trailer. Expect Michael Keaton to be centered.
I would have thought that they would have pulled like a what they did with Harrison Ford in The Force Awakens, like have him at the end say something. Like you'll see the Batwing, maybe you'll see the Batmobile,
let's get nuts.
And then he'll say some sort of tagline at the end, where everybody's supposed to go, it's Michael Keaton.
Probably will.
And then you got all the morons that are going to be reacting to it, like, oh, is that real? I didn't know that was happening. Like the fucking morons always do when they react.
Like an Adam Sandler character.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know Michael Keaton was in this movie.
Yeah, it's all fake. It's reactions.
William was good.
David
He said, words mean that they are hanging. Yeah, that's worried all of us probably universally for quite some time that they're hanging everything on the 73-year-old.
Well, he was 70 at the time of filming, or 69. He was 69. Yeah, 69 when he filmed. So, he's aging up, yes, and he's not going to be in anything because they destroyed Batgirl and they burnt it. And then they took. I don't know if they took him out of Aquaman 2 or not. We don't know yet.
Who knows?
But apparently he's got some.
John was good. Homie was good. Bro was good.
Allegedly
in the house.
Hey, there's a goofy ass rumor going around that the end of this movie is going to tease an entirely different Batman, and that Batman's going to be the DCU Batman going forward. Fucking bullshit.
They're not. And somebody said that about the new Superman. Like, oh, hey, they're gonna do that. I was like, no, I'm sorry, you're not gonna cast somebody, number one, and then have them do a costume fitting, and then go through that, and you're not even going in production yet, and like you're not gonna spend money. I mean, they do spend for frivolously like this this $3 million commercial, but they're not gonna go through the whole process of casting someone, giving them a costume fitting, and then setting up a whole production to like light it and film it and put it in the thing last minute just because you want to promote your new DCU. No, if they're smart, which I mean, okay, I don't want to say this. If they're normal, and they're going to go through the motions of production. So I doubt. I mean, I doubt. I bet the closest thing you have to a DCU Batman and the closest thing you have to a DCU Superman is concept art right now behind the scenes that we haven't seen yet.
I
bet they've commissioned it.
Probably. Yeah. But to say that, the end of this movie is going to have one of these three Batman and it's Kilmer, Clooney, or Bale. No, bullshit.
Yeah.
First of all, the first two were hired to fucking replace Keaton. Keaton's in the movie, so it doesn't make any logical sense to go and bring in another Batman.
That's sore. That's a sore thing. Yeah,
it's so dumb. And then Bale, he said on numerous times, "I'm not going to come back as Batman unless Christopher Nolan's behind the camera."
Oh man!
Michael Keaton. To be fair, Michael Keaton also made the claim about that with Danny Elfman. When Danny Elfman went to executive producer, that's when Keaton was like, "Yeah, I'm out." Oh. And yeah. So he said he wouldn't come back unless it was a Tim Burton production or whatever. Or Tim Burton directed. So he's been safe.
Shouting everybody out and stuff.
Until Andy Muschietti.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll see what happens then. Obviously, Sunday, what I'm saying? I'll bring this up real quick because this is the actual poster that they put out today. Obviously, like y'all were saying.
Oh, another one?
There is one that's just the logo.
Oh, okay. That was
teaser
that they did for, I think, their Twitter handle or something.
I think they put that out early this morning.
It's the thing down below.
This thing right here.
And like Andre reacted. He was like, "Oh my god, that's great!" And I'm like, "Dude, it's the same fucking logo you've seen, just different lighting. It's the same shit, dude. It's just
I like it.
No, but it's the same. You've never, from what they've been promoting it's the same exact. They didn't make any changes to the logo. They just colored it differently. That's all they did to this thing.
Apparently, that's a new Batwing, and it kind of looks like one. So
it is a new Batwing. If you've seen the toy.
I have not. I've seen the toy of the Batmobile. I haven't seen the toy of the Batwing.
So they have a thing with the Flash and Batman and the Batwing that they're selling or that they're going to sell, and it is modified. It is different. So it looks a little bit more sleek, I think.
Mm-hmm. And to just go off just a little bit.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Whoever put an ankle bracelet on his leg, that shit was hilarious.
Oh my god, I saw that going around.
That shit was
fun.
The Power Ranger, I thought it was hilarious.
Logo. They swapped it out. The Power Ranger logo. Yeah. That was funny. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
So have fun with it. But here it is. This is the first initial thing that pretty much that they put out there. So look, once Sunday happens and the Super Bowl happens and we see what they're promoting, the trailer they put out there, expect the Flash to like kind of, I guess, ramp up their stuff after that. But also, like we've mentioned here, there's still other properties in there that are just like, put this with that. It's Batman heavy, is it? That's what they tell us, man. It's gonna be Batman. We are Batman. Who's gonna be about Batman? Redemption story. Take my mind. A Keaton redemption story.
Redemption. What? What is he redeeming?
The real unfortunate thing is like the fact that like Ryan pointed out, like if you look at every other distinguished competition film made, it is very centric to that character, and it's really unfortunate that they were not confident in an idea for a Flash film that just involved him being just a solo hero taking out villains of his rogues gallery.
Yeah,
that I think is truly unfortunate, but by a different But again, like on a different end of that spectrum, I think Andy Muschietti did the best of what he could with what he was handed, picked to do, right? Like, doing a story that involves time travel, what we've seen of like toys, like using a dark flash, like, and having a Supergirl and Keaton's Batman is like, I can kind of understand it. Like getting this character on the film side of things, getting a film off the ground for years and years must have been just a fucking tired, tried process. So finally getting it off the ground, but having it be a multiverse reset is just kind of like, especially when like there was a script of this movie that involves Ray Fisher, and you're just like, yep, that still stings.
Yeah, we'll sting
100%. Yeah, and it's just like, but at the same time, it's like, I like Muschietti as a director, and I for damn sure don't buy that. The new DCU is going to be at the end of this movie bullshit. Like the Batman anyway. Like I don't buy that bullshit at all, especially because it's coming from Grace Randolph. So there's that. Yeah. And just I don't know. I'm ready to see more of what this movie is going to look like for a mass audience perspective, because we've seen what can happen behind scenes and how things can change.
Yeah. I think, especially considering the validity of what's taking place for us as fans in this, like what we're talking about right now, just the circle of what we're talking about, was Zack Snyder fans. You know what I'm saying? Zack Snyder Justice League came out. We, and we still wanted to see his universe restored, obviously, but we're here. We're here, in which we realize that like
common sense.
Yes, that's ridiculous. So anyway, but we're still like we're fans of that, and like we can like look at this stuff and sort of interpret it differently than somebody else might interpret it. So I just look, man.
So I put the Batwing down below.
Yeah. Here we go. Bring it up with it.
So that's the new updated Batwing. It's a little bit more. Yeah, that's the I believe that's a picture of the toy or rendering of the toy. There's another one that I can.
I just saw it. It actually looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I wonder how big it's going to be. But what I was saying is just like we'll be watching that trailer on Sunday in probably a different light than a lot of people. Obviously, there's a lot of people who are going to watch it the same way we watch it, but we're looking for what Phil was just talking about. What are these things to look for to even have a guess as to what the movie's gonna, you know what I'm saying? So like you'll be looking at clues and things of that nature, as opposed to somebody who's just outwardly just like, yo, a new Flash movie, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like we'll look at it differently than that. So because I'm just as curious as you guys. What the fuck is gonna happen on June 16th? Like when this movie comes out, what is it? And you know what I'm saying? And this is our first taste as to. And look, we've given news, and I said it just up for those. I was like, if the movie is so good, James Gunn said it's one of the best comic book movies. Why are you cutting scenes from the? What are you doing? Why is there editing going on if it's one of the best comic book movies you've ever seen? Why are we cutting clips from it? Is it not the best, or you just lied, or what was it? So that's what I'm saying as far as us being interested in, like, just wanting to see, just to see. You know what I mean? And we'll have our conversation. This trailer's going to come out on Sunday during the Super Bowl. All next week, we'll all be talking about it. Every stream, we'll be fucking breaking it down and talking. Because
the thing about these movies, though, we haven't seen Shazam or Flash or Blue Beetle or Aquaman, is that they can make the claim that that was before us. That was before us. Our stuff is going to be good. So. They've got that cushion.
They've given every movie to come out this year that same sort of cushion, except James Gunn was literally like, The Flash is one of the best. He literally said that. He didn't say that about Aquaman 2
or Blue Beetle
or Shazam. Or about Shazam. He said it about The Flash. So that leads me also to believe that he already knew he was going to come in here and chop some shit up.
Well, yeah, I mean, last year was the year of heroes, and all these movies.
fuck.
We got to get that out, right,
bro? Let me tell you something. And this is how we've come. I'm not gonna say how far we've come, but I'll never forget sitting. And I got to watch the Batman a few days early, bro. I was in the theater and I was like ready, and that thing played before it, and I was like, okay. Well, we'd seen it because they had showed it online before that. But
and then after the Batman, everything changed. You're just like,
yes.
Fuck.
They made that video, just threw it out the window. It's been there after that. Let's see. Wait a minute. He said, let's see. James Gunn should have been hired to begin his run while at the same time Luca and Abby should have been tasked with. Hey, man. I could see that, man. I could see that, man. Because look. There's still, and we've been talking about it for weeks. There's still some loose ends there. They might not be big time loose ends or whatever, but there's still some things out there that seems as though they're just not going to wrap up. And
well, I mean, like the biggest thing is the nightmare sequence. It's like, you saw it in BVS. They cut it completely, or they didn't, they didn't incorporate it at all in Joss Whedon's version, or because Zach hadn't shot it yet, and so it was just sort of like, okay, from BVS, like, what was the point of that, and then to sort of to have it included in Zack Snyder's Justice League at the end. I was like, okay, great, at least they were able to put it back in there to sort of give us a little bit of
that was Zack,
but still there's no resolution, there's no fulfillment of that. There's no like, is that going to go anywhere? Did that go anywhere? Because I mean, I'm sorry, but if I were to make, even without Zack, if I were to make a film, I'll be like, hey, you know what? Let's put the characters in a dystopian, sort of Mad Max kind of thing, and just give people what they haven't seen. Like, give them something that Marvel isn't doing, and who cares about what's going on here, there, or whatever. Kind of pepper in some of these, like Mr. Terrific or whatever, just like, some of these characters may be dead or whatever, just kind of give us something that you've never seen before with a unique story. And I'll buy that. And then, like, Will was saying, go into your new, whatever, have the Flash reset, the universe after that or whatever, just like they did in the animated movies. So, I mean, that would have been great, but I don't know. They're just like, fuck it. Let's not throw any more money this way. Let's throw money this way.
Yeah. And it was right now it's sloppy, and it may be for 2 years. That's probably. All right, so hey, let's watch this trailer. All right, so the Fast X trailer came out today. Fast 10 for everybody who doesn't understand Roman numerals. But anyway,
fasten your seatbelts.
Hey, what up, Neil? What's good, homie? What's good?
Oh, man? What up, Neil?
I was about to watch this Fast 10 trailer, man. It was good. So obviously, like I said, I saw like the little. Whatever, they advertise trailers out, which is wild because they didn't used to do that back in the day, but now they do. So that's what I saw, and let me get this pulled up real quick. We'll watch this. Oh, you son of a bitch!
You son of a bitch!
Son of a yeah, he's acting a fool, man. It's taking too long. All right, here we go. Here we go.
Boopity boop boop.
Can y'all hear that?
No.
I can't hear a thing.
It sounds like fucking
Ryan, I can't hear you. I think you might be muted.
No, I'm good.
Oh, never mind.
That was
Oh, that was a good lip sync then. Good job.
That was I learned from Milli Vanilli.
What? All right, here we go.
It's true.
Y'all should be able to hear this from the.
Can't hear it.
What the hell, man? I can hear it loud. What the fuck?
I guess we can mouth the words.
No,
sure.
Come up with our own.
I don't sound like Helen Mirren, so I'm not going to try.
Yeah, not with that attitude.
Damn, she's about to have a good spring, March and May at the box office.
Yep, she is. That's why she takes those roles. Wait a minute.
Fast and Fury of the Gods.
That's right.
There you go. That's the sequel. There's a trailer.
All right, What the fuck did they do?
Fast and Fury of the Gods X.
Ooh.
Oh, you son of a bitches. You son of a bitches. They don't fucking... Okay, I see what they did. All right. My bad. I apologize to everybody out there. Here we go.
Yeah.
They changed it up on me.
Oh.
Building this one.
There we go.
Lovely. Someone on that head of yours.
Something little B said. He said, Dad, I'm not afraid of anything. But I am. I'm afraid of losing someone I love. Dominic Toretto. To learn all about fear. Oh.
Aquaman.
Filled with love.
This is the bad guy?
They're gonna be chasing Momoa.
You stole my future. My family.
Okay, is that from one of the prior ones?
Yes,
That's fine.
yes.
Piece by piece.
He's coming for you with everything.
What's the plan, Dom? I'm not sure anymore.
Peacemaker?
One of us might not come back from this. But we have to fight.
Never accept death.
Man, he's going through the floor?
On the day trust. Ain't too many get banged with us. Label us no yes.
It's a setup.
It's the other Aquaman.
Trying to tear us apart.
Our situation is fight one. What you gonna do? Fight or run? Winning used to be about winning. We raced for respect. Today, I raced to stop the bloodbath. That's the problem with having such a big family. How do you choose the ones you save? Let's race!
What?
Max?
This is insane, bro.
Oh, look at this. Jason Statham.
Holmes and Shaw didn't work out so well.
It's showtime. Here we go.
Game recognizes game.
Oh, God.
I'm coming for you, son. Here they come. You will never.
Just wait.
Oh my god.
Bro, what the fuck?
Hell yeah.
Fucking ridiculous.
I wish
but
my
yeah,
car did that.
Why the fuck not?
Good morning, sunshine.
Oh,
You gotta
shit.
be kidding me.
Damn.
Now Kith.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, man.
Bro, it looks fucking incredible.
Fuck.
I can't wait.
Oh my God.
I'll be there. Opening day.
Yeah, that's insane. That's insane. Look, man, like like we were saying earlier, these movies are made for a certain crowd. I'm looking forward to it. We'll watch that. Literally, we'll be like, you know what I'm saying, like in the same spectacle of just like, that's ridiculous. It's gonna be hilarious, and it's gonna be it is what it is, man. They literally take the reins and just fucking keep going.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I'm wondering about is how they're gonna end this whole fucking thing, bro.
Oh, it's gonna be like driving Miss Daisy. He'll be in the back seat.
Oh man, yeah, they did throw some Bone Thugs in there. It's exactly what I expected from them, considering what they've done in the past. Is just keep stepping it up, man. And keep stepping it up. I'm sure whenever the final one comes out, that's probably going to be the most absolutely.
I think they'll have Reporter in there as Darkseid. He'll be racing.
Okay.
You know, they're leading
racing.
up to, like,
Nice.
yeah. Don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. What the fuck? Yeah. So
And Vin Diesel like escapes the fucking
Yeah, he's gonna be exhausted.
Exactly. All right. So, yeah.
Omega beams.
Goof ass.
Yeah, man. So basically, besides that, man, I just had The Last of Us, man. So obviously, the next episode is coming in like pretty much about an hour. Yeah. They released it early. I mean, I got it. I understand why. It's Super Bowl Sunday. You're fighting with some ratings there and stuff like that. Even though
nobody's gonna watch the Last of Us if the Flash is coming on.
Huh?
What's the Flash trailer?
Anyway, last time I was on and we talked about The Last of Us, we only had 2 episodes. Now we have 4. So real quick, I'll ask. Wait, what the fuck is this? My brother will be ranting when he sees the Super Bowl spot on Sunday. Why is he gonna be ranting? He don't like what? He don't like what? Is he talking about the? Oh.
Probably Fast and Furious. I don't know. Who cares?
If they do even put something on there. But Joey, man, what you think, man? Episode 3 of The Last of Us, and then this past week's episode, man.
I really am just enjoying this show with each episode more and more. The third one I thought was fantastic. Hold on, I gotta plug my laptop in. It very much expanded on the story that we got in the game with Bill. And all these points have already been said, but just like we never saw Frank, so it was nice to get more of a story. And even though they decided to rip our hearts out at the end, it was still just it was a beautiful story. And it also was very fitting for like this would probably is how it would go down in like the post-apocalypse of just like wanting to live that normal life. And even though
having to struggle to do so.
Yeah. And even though you want to befriend somebody, sometimes like you're gonna have to befriend smugglers because that's the only people who are coming through your town.
Yeah.
But no, I thought that episode was great. It was kind of surprising, but the performances were awesome. Like Nick Offerman's always good. And if you haven't seen Devs, it's a show on FX that he was in. It was like right after Parks and Rec ended, but it was like one of his first times to show his dramatic acting chops. It's a really good show. But so that was really well done. And then last week's episode I loved because it just felt straight out of the game.
Yeah.
Like from the get-go of like that conversation they were having in the car, and like the whole ambush scene and everything. It was like watching it come to life. And it just they're rearranging the show in certain ways to where like stuff will happen like either later or way earlier than it was supposed to.
Yeah.
But so far it's never been anything bad. It's just been like, oh yeah, they didn't go to this building, or they didn't like that. So when they're going through the city, they go to that hotel, and they have to like, sneak through there and like take out all the raiders and stuff. So like they're changing certain aspects of it, but it's nothing that's like ruining the show for me. And I'm not sure how I feel about like the new characters. Kathleen and
Perry. Yeah,
they're interesting. I feel like they're just supposed to be, I know Neil Druckmann said like he wanted to give the villain like more of a face with Kathleen, because the first game you don't really get to a villain until later on.
You just have to fight them cats.
I thought the villain was the virus.
I mean, but like that's what he was saying is like he wants to give he doesn't want the main villain of the show just to be like a bunch of clickers. He wants it to be like, you know, this whoever she's supposed to be.
If that shit went down just like it did in the show, that's the most interesting thing about these types of either movies or shows is that literally people will be the worst fucking thing. Yeah. Like you might think zombies or whatever, if that even happened, if that people are the worst part of that because
man is a true monster.
That's what I liked about, you know, it was episode 4 when he was like, you know, we're, you know, drove the truck into the trees or whatever. I was like, you got to watch out for people, you know, and that's
because people are, man, dude. And look, you could look at it either way. And you could look at it, and I've seen, we've all seen zombie movies, things of that nature. And it's just like the regular people, when they're looking out for people they love, they'll do some shit that is absolutely grimy. And that's what he said when he said people. Yep. And you know, say you might see a dude like you see people in these shows and you're like they get murked off real quick and you're like, you know, he should have showed up fucking with us, but you're thinking to himself, maybe he just wanted food for his kid. That's you know, several that he has hidden away somewhere and he just came to get food. He ended up getting well,
a lot of it reminds me of like War of the Worlds, like specifically the Tom Cruise version, because like you know, in that movie it's maybe a day when they're like driving through the you know, like towards that crowd of people in the small town, and they like they ambush their van and they like try and take it and everything. It's like that's 2 days after the you know, alien attack and everything's going to shit. Imagine what it would be after 20 years. And there's also that part in towards the end of that movie where he like has to, you know, shut Tim Robbins' character up, and it's like Tim Robbins has some size on him, so it's like he's got to dig down deep if he wants his daughter to be, you know, safe, and he ultimately kills him. So it's like it feeds into that, like you were saying, Anthony, that whole idea of like people will go to certain lengths to protect the ones they love.
Yeah,
and
yeah. I'm sure. I mean, look. I'm sure. With that being said, all of us would sort of feel the same way. You know, it sucks. Like this, if you like actually put yourself in those storylines from those shows, whether it's The Walking Dead or The Last of Us, whatever. It sucks, but like, yeah, that's pretty much you're trying. You know what I mean? Like this is the most important thing to you is what you're going to fight to protect. To be quite honest, so that's why. The show is just like that's why other shows and other games and other things have resonated with people because like they understand that if this did happen, this is probably how it will play out and shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Phil, did you get a chance to watch the 4th one? No, you didn't. Not yet.
Watch it. Yeah.
All right, not yet. All right.
I actually got to head out, guys.
Yeah,
bounce, man. Take care, Joey.
Yeah.
All right, man. Good to see you again.
See y'all.
All right, man. Take it easy, man. But and Ryan, you saw the 4th one, right?
Oh yeah. I'm ready for this one in an hour.
Yeah, it comes on about an hour.
Less than an hour. Yeah.
Yeah, be ready to watch
that.
But,
I mean, I'm liking it overall. Overall, you know, I never played the game, so you know, I'm watching it as just a show.
Yeah.
I played up to like where Ellie and Joel get the truck. That's about where I got.
Yeah.
When I stopped playing. So anything after that, all fresh.
If you get a chance, I mean, it's a good play. Me personally, and I've been like this for as long as I can remember. I'm not one of those cats that when I go to play a certain game, story mode, I'm putting that shit on the hardest level ever. Not doing that.
We kind of did that. We were playing that Gotham Knights game.
Oh, y'all put it on hard?
Yeah, me and Matt. And we went to this like level 20 something, like you know, these thugs on the street. We got our ass kicked because I'm Nightwing and he's Robin, and we were beating the shit out of like a lot of them. There was a lot of characters, but then there was just like this one big dude, and he just beat the shit out of us, and it was funny. So it was pretty funny. But he's like, I'm not doing that again.
No, normally I don't play. If I want to come back for more of a challenge, but when I'm initially playing a story of a game, I normally put it easier. I just want to enjoy the story and experience it without getting fucking pissed off because I'll be in here, bro. I'll be in here mad as a motherfucker playing something on hard and just keep getting killed. Timer, like, okay, I gotta fucking knock the difficulty down just a bit.
Definitely.
Yeah. But let me bring this up, man. What you just sent right there, Phil. Hold on.
This news just dropped like about a half hour ago. This is all news to me. This is some fucking shit right here.
Yeah. And look, before I throw this up, I am a fucking fan of those movies. So real quick, Phil just put this and sent this in the Vin Diesel, David Twohy, reunite for Riddick, Furia, Hot If. Look, man, I love those movies. Those fucking Pitch Black, Riddick, Chronicles of Riddick, all of that shit. I'm a big fan. Say Vin Diesel and David Twohy are reunited for Riddick Furia, the fourth installment of the action series that launched the 2000 hit Pitch Black. Twohy would direct his script. Diesel will star and produce under his One Race Films banner alongside Samantha Vincent, who will also produce. Rocket Science and CAA Media Finance will launch worldwide sales at next week's European film market. In the new film, Riddick finally returns to his home world. Oh, shit. The Necromonger, a place he barely remembers and one he fears might be left in ruins by the Necromongers. But there he finds other Furians fighting for their existence against a new enemy. And some of these Furians are more like Riddick than he could ever imagine. So, look, if you're a fan of Pitch Black, any of those movies, I am. Those movies are dope. Yo, check that out, dude. Say when it's coming.
Right.
When it's coming?
I don't think
I say Diesel and Twohy follow Pitch Black with 2004's Chronicles of Riddick. Chronicles of Riddick is dope. And 2013's Riddick. Our Legion fans have demanded it for years, and now we're finally ready to honor their call to action with the Riddick. Furia, Twohy said, my collaboration with Vin and One Race has spanned 20 fruitful years, as together we've created 3 movies, 2 video games. The one of them was dope. What's the one on Xbox? The first one?
Escape from Butcher Bay. It was on Xbox.
That game was fire.
Yeah. Escape from Butcher Bay is fucking rad. I love
that game was dope. That game was dope. Okay, 2 new big screen events will see a return to Riddick's homeworld, where we finally get to explore Riddick's genesis. All right, Diesel continues as one of Hollywood's most bankable action stars, headlining the Fast and Furious Cyberman voicing group in Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. All right, an arc anime series. Again, let's try. All right, so that's me personally. I'm a Riddick fan. That's dope.
I'm down with
that. That's dope news. And so like we'll see where they go with that, man. But that's exciting, man, because all of those movies are dope. Pitch Black is just Pitch Black came out, and it was one of those things where I was like, me and a couple of my homies went to see it in the movie theaters, and we left that motherfucker like that shit was way more incredible than we thought it was gonna be. We just went because it was $7.50 for a fucking ticket to see a Vin Diesel movie, and it was dope, dude. Like Pitch Black is well crafted, and obviously the director has stuck with him the whole time. That's him right here. that's David Twohy, whatever, if that's how you pronounce it.
The red glasses.
Yep, right here. Yeah, I remember watching because I have a couple of the Pitch Black movies on like physical media, and that's the special features when they're doing interviews and shit. He's on there. So yeah.
4th one.
Give me that. Give me that.
Furia. I'm cool. Yeah.
Give me that. Give me that shit for real.
I always like those goggles. That's the real novelty of Riddick, right? The goggles.
That and the fact that he was like, I had this fucking procedure done so I could see in the dark. All of that is just like
you can do that though. You can. Yeah, I went in for LASIK. You can get to where you can see in the dark. I didn't get it though.
No, I'm about to say
they do have that option. I was like, oh, that's dope. I was like, no, but I don't want to pay any extra. So I'm
that combined with the sort of the build up in the first movie, the build up. You got the ship loses control, crashes. People get saved, some people don't, and then he's the prison. That entire setup, they're drinking alcohol because there's no water, so they're like this. What they say this dries you out more than anything is alcohol, drinking it instead of water. That entire thing is just dope. That shit's fun. Mm-hmm. And then the one scene where they like look through the scope and they look up and then fucking Riddick sitting on top of that trailer with his feet kicked up, drinking their fucking. That shit's dope. Oh man. So I'm looking forward to that. Appreciate you sharing that because that shit is dope. We talking about Matt. We're all selfish.
Oh, he was talking about when people like when something happens. Yeah, no, shut up.
Oh, he's talking about in the game, y'all.
Yeah, in the game, and man, he's always there's some bad things about the game that I don't like. In that, like, you know, when you choose like where to go, you got to wait for the other guy to, like, you know, kind of point you to that direction, and then like he's already gone. You know, he's like, oh yeah, he takes off, and I'm like, which way are, you know, where are we going?
Yeah.
And then I gotta wait for it to show up on the map, and then I can go. And then he gets there and he starts, you know, beating people up, and I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'm cleanup crew. So
nice. Hey, yo, Phil, for sure appreciate that, because I did not know that. That's damn, I love those movies, man. Like I said, I own a couple of them on physical media. I do. I want to see how they end that, because when Riddick, the movie Riddick was, when it was done, I was like, yo, this is fire, and they never came back with anything else after that. So this is what we're left with, man.
Yeah.
So yo, that's about all I got, man. Y'all got anything else? Anything pressing you want to talk about? You know, I want to chat about The Last of Us Forbidden. You know, I'm glad you brought this news up, and obviously the Flash dropped some stuff. We'll have more to talk about with the Flash after the Super Bowl, when we actually see the trailer and we're able to like just straight break it down, and I'm sure all next week that's what we're doing.
That's going to be the topic of conversation.
That's going to be the topic. Yeah, nothing else is showing up.
Especially if they put some wild shit in that trailer, then we're definitely going to be, you know, some stuff unexpected. I'm sure we expect to see a couple things, but
there's going to be a lot of eye candy. There's going to be some jokes. And
you can imagine
there's going to be a lot of effects.
There's going to be a lot of that. There's going to be a lot, like we were talking about earlier before you hopped in, Ryan. Like there's going to be a lot of competitional talk between the Flash and whatever Disney puts out for like Marvel, and even Star Wars for like the Mandalorian.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a lot of like, you know, people are going to pick and choose what they would prefer.
And like and I don't know, you didn't talk about, Ryan, because when we first started, we were talking, I know Phil was talking about these little rumors about who's going to be the dude that they put in there. Remember what Grace was talking about? Remember? Did you say what you thought about that?
You know, and I'm with Phil, and I think you as well. I don't hold a lot, you know, of validity with anything Grace has to say. Like, you know, she's hit or miss, but what she does in being hit or miss is she'll say everything on this side, and then she'll say everything on this side, and then when whichever side happens, she's like, "Oh, remember when I said this?" So she's got that kind of game going. But as far as like, I think they might. You're talking about the end of the Flash, right?
Yeah.
There's supposed to be some cameo or something or whatever. Man, I don't really know. We already knew about Chris Reeve, you know, talking to the state, doing like a deep fake or something to put him in. And I think what they're going to do, and this is just my opinion, is he's going to be bouncing in and out of like, you know, different universes or whatever. And he's going to kind of come across some of these actors or whatever. And I would think that, you know, maybe an easy one to do would be like a Chris Reeve. You know, just sort of like a really small, short, like, you know, kind of cute, you know, like, the hell is this, you know, or who are you, or, you know, just something, you know, and maybe not even any dialogue, just like, you know, I don't know, just some sort of like awkward kind of, you know, situation pops in and, you know, oh, well, this isn't the right place. And then he goes off and, you know, whatever. I think, you know, they do that kind of stuff in like, you know, television, you know, cartoons and all that, you know, when they pop around in different universes and things like that.
Yeah.
But as far as like, you know, Clooney, I don't think you're going to see Clooney come back in any way, shape, or form, especially if Keaton's in the role. That's just, you know, disrespectful to the Batman franchise. That particular run, you know, because that was Keaton's run, even though he dropped out.
And plus, we were saying that like several of those actors have said they've already said they're not coming back. You know what I mean? Like
Christian Bale wouldn't do it either,
unless
you know, unless they threw like Harrison Ford money at him. They're not going to do that shit. They don't care.
Yeah,
you know, it's just kind of like
don't have the Harrison Ford capital to throw at him.
Yeah.
They don't have the capital to. They did. I don't think they do now.
But I mean, like I think I mentioned yesterday, I think Linda Carter would be an easy one to do. You know,
I mean, she showed up for Wonder Woman 84.
Wonder Woman 84. So you know she's down, she's game, she's accessible, and she's willing to do it. And she, you know, they've treated her nicely, I'm sure. So I would think she would be a pretty good one. Maybe they do like a deep fake with her, de-aging and, kind of like, show her in her prime, if you will, kind of like they did with, Arnold Schwarzenegger and, the Terminator franchise when they try to, de-age him and pretend that, he's the one from the 80s. Something simple, something easy like that. I don't think we're going to get the girl from Supergirl, Helen
Slater, yeah.
I don't think we'll get her.
Wild.
I don't think we'll get John Wesley Shipp. I don't think we'll get him. Possibly Grant Gustin, because they already did that shit with Ezra Miller in the Flash, CW TV show. So maybe that's something. But yeah, I mean, because there is that sequence in that, but the thing was, and that's still like a sore spot in a Band-Aid is that, Ezra Miller's line from the Flash CW was like, Vic was right, like,
right.
On the film.
And I think,
right.
I'm pretty sure when we all saw that, you probably was like, oh shit. But then once he said that line, that was like at the time that he said it that you saw that was dope, dude. You were like, oh shit, it seems as though there's
it's like, they're doing it. Oh, they're crossing paths, they're doing this.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I never really understood about Keaton, 70-year-old Keaton, being there is like, when I think of universes and multiverses and all that, I think when you pop in and pop out, I thought that they would de-age, Keaton for the show, like at least make him look or appear or semblance Ben Affleck's age, so that it's a 50-year-old Batman and a 50-year-old Batman, because I don't get, or I don't understand. The same thing with what James Gunn is talking about doing with the 25-year-old Superman. It's like, I don't get it to where, not only are you popping in and out of different universes, but you're also going into the different time periods and mixing and matching. I don't get it. A 70-year-old Batman with a 20-year-old, Supergirl, or 19, or I don't know how old she's supposed to be, but I don't know. I mean, it just doesn't make a whole lot of. I mean, it's weird.
Yeah,
it's weird. But when I first thought about it, it's cool to have like Tobey Maguire and Tom Holland and
Andrew Garfield.
Garfield, all they're all different ages. But when I think of like Superman or Spider-Man or whatever from different universes, they're all the same age, but just different circumstances or different, whatever. They all were born in this time. They all grew up the same way, but they all did different things because they had different experiences or whatever, but they're still the same age. And they're all would have been played by the same actor. Kind of like what they're doing with, Ezra. It's all the same actor because I would think genetically you'd be the same person. You wouldn't be like, oh, that's Bruce Wayne, but it's a different chemical, compound or composition of that. I get it. I get it on one level. It's like, oh yeah, it's a performance and whatever. But I mean, on another level, I'm just like, when I think about a doppelganger or something like that, it's always the same person, kind of like what they did with the Flash TV show. When it was a different Barry Allen, it was Grant Gustin being a different Barry Allen. Yeah. It was a different John Wesley Shipp being, another character. It was, they were the same person, but just a different universe. So you look the same, but you have different experiences, so you act different. So I don't know. I like that, and that's sort of what I was like, that makes sense to me.
Well, to that point, John Wesley Shipp played 3 different versions of himself. He played Jay Garrick, he played Henry Allen, and he played
Barry Allen.
Yeah.
But the reason why he played Barry Allen was because he played Barry Allen right after Keaton's run on the Flash TV show. That's the reason why he played Barry. But and I love that show. But him playing Garrick and then also Henry Allen, I was like, that in a way that could make sense. I don't know. I was like, because it was, I don't know. It made sense at the time. I can't make it make sense right now, but I was like,
I feel you because it did, because when he showed up as Jay, I remember the episode he showed up as Jay Garrick, and that shit was dope. They remade that cover. That shit was That shit was, it was incredible. See, William says Superman changed the border. Yeah, man, we've been saying it, man. It's ego, man. Gunn has, he wants it to be, if this, whatever he's doing is successful, I don't think he wants to have to give credit to anyone else for what he's done besides himself and Saffron. They want to be, we did this. Yeah. Yep, this new thing we just put out here that's making all this money, we did it but I want to know if they'll still do the same thing if it fails.
The thing about this though is that people are like, oh yeah, no, he's keeping Ezra, he's keeping Gal, but if you look at the slate, there's no Flash movies after.
Yep.
There's no Wonder Woman movie after. There's an Amazon prequel.
Yep.
And so, like, if that is your first, run, which is going to take maybe 2 years, that's a 2-year release, I guess. His slate. Yes. So from 2024 to 2025, those are the releases. So the next project would be 2026. And how old is Gal and how old is Ezra going to be at that time? And are they still going to be viable, or is this new universe going to dictate or mandate or require younger actors to match the younger Superman that he's put in place?
Yeah.
It just, I don't know. It seems like it's all smoke and mirrors to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure we all we've been talking about it for weeks. We all feel some kind of way about the way this whole thing that went down. Yeah, if it fails, that's what I just said. If it's successful and he wants to take all the credit for it, because then if it fails, I hope
he'll say, "Oh, it's Superman fatigue." He'll take the Bob Iger.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's hard to make a universe when all of these people just want the Spider-Verse. Shut up! You got what you got. Like literally, like at this point in time, because he came out, he made this, the statements about, I have talked to Zach, and whatever he came out with yesterday, we talked about it on Four Nerds. So now you have it. Now it's your shit. So if it fails, we'll never see it, because if it's successful, he'll take the credit. If it fails, we'll never know.
Look at Suicide Squad. That was a failure.
Yeah.
His Peacemaker, even though you guys didn't like it, I never watched it. Apparently, it was supposed to be pretty good. I mean, I know we know one fan, but
like I said, regardless of quality, unfortunately, yes, they aren't.
But he doesn't talk about that as being a failure, and he's holding on to the shit that he did. Weasel, was his brother, and Viola Davis for the Amanda Waller project. He's holding on to it. He's like, yeah, no, it was a failure, but we're not going to talk about that. We're just going to move forward with my universe.
All right, yeah, and look. So I think, and this is it's. I mean, I know it's a couple days away, but I think, we have a sort of, not a jumping off point, but we have something coming on Sunday to where we can literally, and we've been saying that we can take and say, okay, this is where this thing starts. Pretty much, even though the Flash was already before he got there, but if he is really cutting off the end credit shit and putting his own stuff in it, this is the point where we can look at this and be like, okay, maybe we might get a gist of what's to come. Is with the Flash trailer. And look, like I said, it's gonna be big time. Yeah, the Suicide Squad lost $68 million, bro. That's a lot of money. And
but we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about that.
They still gave him the spot in charge of everything, though, even after Suicide Squad lost $68 million. Not going to talk about how baffling that is, because that's we've already said that many times before.
Yeah.
Probably that could be true too, but as much as and I'll say this, as much as Gunn talks about him and Zach's relationship and they talk and stuff like that, he still wasn't about to launch a universe and be able to and have to say that if it wasn't for Zach, this wouldn't be. He doesn't want to say that. He just doesn't want to say that. He wants to be able to take all the credit, and I will stand by that until I see otherwise. But I appreciate y'all jumping on, man. Yeah. This is a show. Hey, make sure, like Absolutely. I said, I know you guys are going to be tuning in Sunday, whether you watch football or not. You're going to be looking for that Flash trailer to see what we have in store, and we'll be talking about that at great length next week. Let's see. So when people say if Black Adam had done well, they would have got more there. Yeah. No, I'm done talking about Dwayne Johnson. Son of a bitch.
It's a sore subject.
So that dude. Come on, man. That dude. What What is all right? Anyway, all right. So, yo, appreciate everybody who tuned in. Appreciate you guys for jumping on. Shouts out to Joey. He had to bounce and stuff.
Yeah.
We'll be on the lookout, obviously, for this trailer on Sunday, and we'll be talking more about it. You got some more, Phil? Well, you just saying, fucking let's go. All right, y'all. See y'all.